is it possible to quit? This is that we do, right? I'm I I don't think I ever thought about quitting. I feel like the making, mostly the making, the thought of making something is being in my memory like since forever. I remember making lists of materials and supplies that I needed to make this idea that I had in my head. And I will go to my mom, I need all these because I'm making this plan and this is going to fall this way. And then you're going to stitch here and put. And my mom always laughed at me. Like she always laughed about me and um, my list of supplies that I constantly ask for every time for a different supply. But I didn't know that that was art. I
Mm.
just knew that I wanted to make something, or I will ask for a bunch of paper to write poems, and then I will stick all my poems on the walls. And maybe I was like 6 years old or 7 years old, and I will be like having all these ideas about poems with roses and stuff, and just
Mm.
stick them on my walls and be happy and sit in front of my wall with my poems, right? And my mom and my dad, they weren't really like visual people in terms of art, so much that they didn't talk to me about art.
Mm.
um, but then growing up, the first time that we moved to another country was from Peru to Mexico. And there, my one of my aunts, she was a stained glass artist,
Mm.
and that was fascinating to me. And she was the kind of maker, because I thought we were makers, not artists. Um, that I wanted to be like her when I grow up. I wanted to have the bins with fabrics and the pieces of glass and the I remember she had a bag with a box with ribbons. And
Mm.
I will just love to go through all those beautiful ribbons that had like strawberry shortcake images.
Oh, yeah.
You remember those and things
Little.
like that? Uh-huh. Yeah, everything strawberry shortcake and Hello Kitty and all those ribbons that she will use for my hair and my cousin's hair. So it
Mhm.
was like, wow, we have this. For me, it was like the most amazing thing. And the stickers are like your first contact with
Uh,
art, right?
yeah.
And I wouldn't stick them anywhere. I would just collect them. And also during those travels, I remember that I had to give away my toys because we couldn't move with so many things. So I will save like folded pages from magazines with images or um, candy wrappers, and I something that I can stick in my pockets, so I will have something pretty to look at. For a long time, I thought of the possibility of quitting, but it wasn't quite like that, because when I graduated, I was already pregnant with my oldest one.
Mm.
So I went just like headfirst into having a baby and child rearing. And between the three of them, they are only 2 years apart. And I thought I will quit making art because it's impossible to make art and to have kids. But it turns out that I turned to drawing and quilting and reading and all the things that you do with kids that also involve painting and creating stuff. So I feel like I truly never completely separated from making art.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of quilting. I have towers of quilts that I did. I made this making thing during the time that I was um, uh, dealing with toddlers and school and all these that you do to bring humans up. So I did a lot of cooking and trying. I have one kid that had a lot of food allergies, so I have to come up with ways of bake cakes when there weren't any vegan cake mixes and stuff like that. So I think that is also creating, like trying to bind a cake with applesauce or flax or I don't know what other stuff that turned out to be like a terrible dessert, but I keep trying rice. It was terrible, but
Yeah.
he loved it. That she had cake, and
Yeah.
also every time there was a birthday party, I have to bake a cake so she can bring her little piece of cake
Oh,
to the
right.
parties. So that kind of stuff. And observing, I did a lot of observing. I did like gardening with them. So it was the first time I was doing something like that. So we learned to grow vegetables. We have a backyard that had a lot of squirrels, and we deeply observed the squirrels to the point that once we caught a squirrel that took a habanero pepper, and we were like, "Ooh," and we saw the squirrel chew on an habanero pepper, get all spicy, and throw away the habanero pepper and start like yelling like
Oh my goodness.
yeah, and observing everything, no, how
Yeah.
their faces change, how their hair change, their hair changes. Like seeing my girls grow from being fatty babies to the the expressions, the muscles, the everything that made you spend so much time sitting on the I don't know the backyard, the sidewalk, playing with them that you are just observing. And I have this thing with observation that I look at you and I'm already carving your face, or I'm
Mhm.
already drawing your face. In my mind, I'm always drawing and always carving. So
Mm.
my husband realizes that like you're looking at that person like you're carving that person. I'm like, yes, I'm carving all the time in my head. So
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
those were the things that I did instead of making art per se during those years.